set for a good AFC matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Off the play fake, Love. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Love swinging this out for Pollard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space.
36 now, 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Love. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
To the air again, Love. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. McCann's got it teed up. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Lonnie Johnson picks it, and the Chargers will have some position here as they...
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A handoff, running left, Henry. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make play. It was only a 3-yard run.
Henry again on 2nd down. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry.
Darnay Holmes makes the tackle.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
So that'll back him up 5. Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles. 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But if their intensity doesn't waver, I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
Second down.
Play action this time with Love. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play there for L.A.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Love's throw here, taken in by Knox.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
Love, they go play action now. He'll buy some time right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Love. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs with a lucky number 13.
The point, remember, all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
McCann's got it teed up. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice base. It turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, here's Henry. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll run. It's Henry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Smith. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this one complete to Smith. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Second and 1.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Derrick Henry. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.